Moment of silence for the champions, for those who make going hard a lifestyle. Never wait for nothing, gotta get it right now. I'm in the spotlight when they turn the lights down. Only a champ swing the hardest in the 12th round. I love the fourth quarter, I love the ninth inning, I love game 7. Bring on the competition, cause in my heart can't nobody do it better. Can't slow me down, won't stop me never. I'm so Cassius Clay, I'm Tyson in his prime.
You know me, man. I'm Barry Bonds with Mines. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Pressure Podcast. It's Top 10 Thursday. Let's get it.
What's up, guys?
We're coming to you on a day where, for the first time in recent memory, there is no clear-cut Super Bowl champion favorite. I have no idea who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. In one hand, you have the Eagles, who are the reigning champions. They're 8-2, beating a bunch of good teams, but don't look like themselves on offense just yet. Then you got the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the reigning AFC championships. They can't move the ball at will, and they cannot stop on defense like they used to anymore. Then you let my Baltimore Ravens, who finally fixed the defensive problem, but now we have the offense problem, where we can't finish in the red zone, and we have a weak O-line. Then you look at the Buffalo Bills, where Josh Allen is anything but the MVP, and that defense looks more atrocious than the year before. Joe Burrow is not in sight anytime soon. The Texans are winning without C.J. Stroud. Sam Darnold looks bad sometimes and looks good in an elite team.
Against
the Detroit Lions have a bad defense, and Jared Goff is up and down, inconsistent. Even the Rams are inconsistent. I have no idea who's going to win the Super Bowl this year, bro.
I mean, it's too early to tell, anyways. I don't think we can. I mean, I don't think there's
a clear-cut Super Bowl favorite right now, other than the reigning champions Eagles. But even you guys don't look as elite as you did last year.
How do I say? Like, I feel like there are teams that we can talk about that are in the running for it, but not anybody that we can be like, oh,
for certain,
both sides of the ball they're playing at an elite level type of shit. No, absolutely.
As I mentioned earlier, today is Top 10 Thursday. Today we will cover the QFL tiers. The QFLs, for those who don't know, is what I call the NFL. The N3A tiers, for those who don't know, that's what I call the NBA. The power rankings for both teams.
Give me a hell yeah!
Sir.
Or both leagues. But we're also going to add in top 10 offenses and top 10 defenses on both the NFL and the QFL and the N3A. We're also going to do the YN progress report. I actually had it here and completely forgot to put it on for Monday. So since I still have it here, I might as well use it. And obviously talk some and recap the Thursday night football game. So without further ado, we are coming to you live from our studio in Orlando, Florida. It's your boy King
LeBron.
We are rated M for millennials. Today, the Buffalo Bills basically laid an egg. They were Vegas favorite by 4.5, so they should have won convincingly. The Texans were not with their franchise QB. Somehow, some way, the Texans came out with a win, 23-19. Houston's now 3-0 since C.J. Stroud's concussion, and Mills outplayed the MVP, Josh Allen, in this at home. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I get it. It's in Houston, so it might be a little bit more easier, but I don't care who the fuck you are and where you're at. You're not supposed to be outplaying the MVP if you're a backup quarterback. The reigning MVP? I'm not talking about someone who was once an MVP. I'm talking about someone who's literally the reigning MVP. A quarterback that has not taken any reps with the first team until 3 weeks ago. Are you telling me that now he gets to outplay Josh Allen? Josh Allen got sacked 8 times in this game. 8 times they sacked him. Look at this pathetic passer rating, 67.4, 24-34 for 253 yards and 2 interceptions. Now, I'm told that Josh Allen has the biggest arm that you could ever ask for. But why can't, with that kind of arm, when he's throwing off the back foot instead of stepping forward, why can't he still throw it in accurate? That last play at the end of to end the game, right before the interception, it wouldn't have worked because Gabe Davis got called for pass interference. He meshed and tried to do a pick. He basically ran into somebody setting a pick, and the person that he set the pick for was wide open. But Josh Allen didn't even throw it there. He threw it behind him to whoever was in the end zone. That would have been a first down, even though it was still called back for pass interference. I thought you were supposed to have the strongest arm. It wasn't even that far of a distance. That wasn't even a 15-yarder. Maybe 12, 13 max.
Man, but if you didn't watch, bro.
I can make that throw.
But if you didn't watch the game, bro, that defense dominated there.
Of course, I did.
And when I'm telling you, like, this is why I picked them. That's why I picked them, because I figured they just weren't gonna be able to score more than the Texans would. I felt like the Texans would just have enough to get them by and win this game.
I don't know how you thought that. I have no idea.
The defense.
No. The defense is one thing, but you are trusting an offense that has not been showing anything.
Mills has been good enough to get it done. I'm not saying he's good. I'm just saying against
bad teams.
Well, I mean, but look at the Bills, bro.
The Bills are not a bad team. They're not supposed to score 23
defense
points.
Is terrible.
I hear you.
Terrible.
But I don't care how bad your defense is. A bad offense should not be able to score on you, because they're a bad offense themselves. They were a bad offense when they had C.J. Stroud.
They're bad in the red zone. Not so much that they can't move the ball, because they can move the ball. They're just really bad in the red zone, and they showed it again. It reared its ugly head again in this game. But somehow, some way, they just did enough, because that Bills defense is atrocious, man.
But I can't say it's all on the Bills defense, because they only allowed 23 points. Last time I checked, they only allowed 153 yards passing.
But look who's playing quarterback, and look how good he did, bro. Like
16 to 30 is not good. That's almost 50%.
153 and 2 touchdowns. Just imagine if they can get their red zone offense to get going.
So you admit that they weren't an elite offense.
No, they're not an elite offense.
You admit that he didn't do all that bad, but
I don't
think
think the Bills are an elite offense either.
I never said they were. We're not talking about stop. Just hear with me. You're trying to guess what I'm trying to say. Just hear what I'm saying. The Texans are a bad offense, a elite defense, Super Bowl ready defense. Okay.
Agreed.
The Bills are an okay offense with a great MVP, and then I wouldn't say the worst defense, but you wish you had a better defense.
Great, but I don't think he's playing great.
No. I like I said, hear what I'm saying. You're not listening to what I'm saying. I'm saying they are okay offense with a great QB. Doesn't matter if he's playing good right now or not. He's still a great QB.
No, absolutely.
Cool. Just hear me out. The fact that the Texans still scored, I don't know how they scored 23 points. I still don't understand how they scored 23 points. This man only had 153 yards passing. And how many rushing yards they got? 74, 16 for Marks and Chubb. Nothing here says that they were going to score 23 points. The fact that they still did, the fact that they outplayed Josh Allen, and the fact that they're 3-0 since CJ's concussion shows me a few things. Number one, I can no longer trust Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills with my money. Number two, that's a damn good coach over there in fucking Houston. And number three, the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC East does not go through Buffalo. They're not winning the AFC East. They're not winning the AFC East. Not the way that I see them playing right now. So those are my game notes. What about you?
Mine is that defense needs to. I just feel like the Bills need to come back next year stronger with their roster. It's not so much that they don't have the talent, because I think obviously you got Josh Allen and you got Cook. But you need more. You need more on the offense. Apparently, they just don't have what it takes to get it done on offense.
No.
With just Cook and Josh Allen. And the defense doesn't give you shit. And then this is what you get. I
see 0 sacks next to David Mills' name.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and we're talking about you did just bolster your defensive line by getting Bosa. So where the fuck was he at? He wasn't nowhere to be seen on the screen at all. And then on top of that, I think that's pretty good. 16 attempts, 74 yards. It wasn't like they was giving him the ball a lot to rush. So
No. I'm not saying that it was a bad attempt yards. I could see that he had 4.5. I mean 4.6. That's great. What I'm saying is I don't see it in the ground or in the air how they scored 23 points. It looks like they only scored 14 to me.
and then another thing was the fact that they were giving up bad field position. The Bills. So most of the time, the Houston was getting the
But
ball.
what do you
like,
mean by
at the 30,
but what do you mean by bad
40 yards?
Let me clarify. What do you mean by bad field position? I didn't get to see the game. Did Houston like cut it off short where every time they punted back it was good position, or was it that the Bills special teams just kept allowing good returns, or the combination?
No. It was I wouldn't say it was a combination. I would say it was mostly because of the sacks. The fact that he was getting these sacks, like
8 of them.
on mostly on third down. A lot of them were on like third downs and
They had
stuff like
5
that.
sacks on
so,
third down.
So we're talking about like they were punting the ball and it was like 4th and 15 or something like that. So they were basically punting the ball from the 20. From the 20, like damn near the whole night. So they were getting the field position around like
30,
40,
gotcha.
30. You know what I'm saying? So it was good field position.
So they never had to drive more than 70 yards on average.
Absolutely
Heard
not.
that.
Absolutely not.
Heard that.
The defense was chef's kiss.
No, this is a Super Bowl ready defense, and we will speak of that very soon. Team grade. Well, one thing to note: something happened with Josh Allen's throwing wrist when he got sacked the last time.
Seen that as well.
Maybe that's why he couldn't get that wide open receiver that, you know what I'm saying, Gabe Davis had set a screen for. But I'm telling you, if you look at the replay, that couldn't have been more than 15 yards. I could make that throw.
And then another thing, the Bills, I did not know this. They put this up on the screen. In the last 3 games, they have 3 turnovers.
Yeah.
So
three turnovers in each game.
Yeah, 3 in each
They're
game.
1 and 2 in those games.
That's alarming.
That's very alarming.
That's alarming.
So team grade, I'm going to give the Bills offense, I'll say a C minus, and I'll give their defense, I'll say, from what I see, I'll say a C minus as well.
If this continues, I think Sean McDermott's gone.
Maybe. For Houston defense, I give them I'll say an A. I wouldn't say an A plus because they didn't shut Josh Allen down completely. I'll say A plus because they made it his punk ass fucking, get sacked 8 times and 2 interceptions, and because they're winning 3-0 without their franchise quarterback defenses, so they get an A plus.
Guess who had the 2 interceptions?
I saw it. And then Texas offense, I'll say a B. I'll say a B because they did enough and they took care of the fucking business. They took care of the ball and took care of business. So I'll give them a B. But the defense, that's an A plus. That's not an A plus. That's an A plus to me. How about you?
Yeah, the defense A plus. Bills defense. I'm gonna give it an F. I just think the going against Mills and not being able to sack him or even like disturb what he was doing in the pocket. I mean, I know he didn't throw the ball extremely well, but well enough, and he didn't turn it over, and you couldn't get him to turn the ball over either. What they did to Josh Allen was put him in a box, and I mean, the dude, he started seeing ghosts. He just started seeing ghosts. That's just what it was.
Well, I saw a play where they were, it was 3rd and...
The scramble? Are you talking about the scramble?
3rd and, yeah, something. And the only reason that scramble happened was because this is where it benefited Josh Allen. Remember how many times we always say when we see an all-out blitz, why don't we ever see a short route, a quick route? Why does everybody go in a long-term route? That's what happened. Except they weren't getting blitzed. It looked like a blitz, and they all fell back. But the problem is they fell back too much, and everybody's going that way. He left I just don't understand.
Are you talking about the fourth and 27?
No. I'm talking about the scramble that Josh Allen had, where I just don't understand. I just don't understand how they send everybody up, and when you see Josh Allen run, there's nobody in sight because nobody throws a slant, nobody throws a drag route. That worked for him on this time.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the Will Anderson where he cut on the inside.
Yeah, and then there was nobody there because all the
containment.
routes went down that way. It worked for him. And I wish they did that for Lamar Jackson. Why? How come we never do something like Lamar Jackson where he fucking scrambles, there's nobody in sight for a good 10 yards? Every time Lamar scrambles, there's 3 motherfuckers around and he somehow whizzes his way out. But he never gets that kind of open field. never when he scrambles. So
Well, he's
it's
a-
interesting. I noted that.
He's
but,
a more dangerous runner, honestly.
Yeah, but I also noted the fourth and whatever. It was a nice play by Kieran them.
Oh yeah, it was a good play. It was a
That
good
was-
play, but I think also, I believe they played zone on that, and that was where they fucked up because
Absolutely. There was zone.
I think they went way too back to the point where
That's their MO.
He caught it, and they was like, "Oh, we're gonna make this tackle," but since the trick play came, they weren't ready for that. If they was playing man, that would have been a tackle by somebody.
Yeah.
So on offense, I'm gonna give the Texans a C because I thought they weren't aggressive enough in the second half. I think they played it like that. That was the game plan because their defense was playing so good. And
I give
then
them
on for the Bills. I'll probably give them a C as well.
I give them a C minus because they scored 30 points a game. Obviously, they only scored basically like a little bit over a third of that.
But the Bills, that was disappointing. They scored 16 in the first, and really they scored 9. They had 9, but the kick return was what got them to 16. Once they got to 16, they only scored 3 in the second half. So that was disappointing. Very disappointing.
Yeah.
Very disappointing. If we're putting you in a top 10 rank because we believe that you have what it takes to stuff. At this point, I feel like I got to take you out.
It's too early for that. They're still 7-4. They're still relevant. It's a little too early for that, but it is a sign that it's coming. We're not that patient.
Really not.
Let's go to the. So we just did the Thursday Night Football recap. Let's do the tiers. All right. So let's go with the quarterback tiers for Week 12. So I have the 3 categories here. Normally it's the USFL or the scout team quarterbacks or Canadian League, but today it's Shador, Sanders, and Gabriel. In that category, you will have Cam Ward. Cam Ward actually played his ass off this last week, and I hope it continues because I kind of want to move him up because I don't feel like he should be here. It's just that he's a rookie, so you know what I'm saying, struggles will be expected.
Very well.
Shu's a shoo-in. I think he's actually pretty capable of knocking out some people over there. Maybe they might play some haterade. Maybe not against some of the better teams, but some of the weaker wild card hopefuls. Mills, he doesn't play that good, but you know what? He got the job done. It is before the game started that I made this, but I'm still not gonna put him at backup duty just yet, even though he's 3-0.
And he doesn't
which
turn the
makes
ball
no sense.
over.
But then you got Tua Tagovailoa. He's also a recent winner, but we all know he's brain dead and he's not going to the playoffs. J.J. McCarthy has to be there. J.J. McCarthy played like ass 2 weeks in a row since his return. I hope it starts getting better. Geno Smith is always leading the league in interceptions right now. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. And then you got Justin Fields, who just got benched for Tyrod Taylor. So he's not even a backup anymore. He's Shador, Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel right now. Then you got the backup QBs. In there you got Aaron Rodgers, old man Rodgers. I had to demote him because he's showing his age a little bit more than Pittsburgh might have hoped. Bo Nix is a backup quarterback. The only reason he's up where he's at is because his elite defense. He's literally like Trevor Lawrence, where he's very, very lucky. I see why he has more the wins that I don't see from Trevor, because at least he's clutch in the fourth quarter. But he's very, very fortunate to have a Super Bowl ready defense. I wouldn't say team, but a defense the way he has it. Joe Flacco is relegated to backup duties. He's the starter right now for the Cincinnati Bengals, but we all know that he's past his prime. He's still got the offensive weapons around him, but the problem is he has no O-line to secure a nice deep run, and then now Jamar Chase is suspended for a game, so that goes last season. Then Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett moved up from the Shador category, the bronze category there. Shador Sanders Jacoby Brissett broke the record for most completions in a QFL game. I don't know how. Out of all people, he's the one that did it, but whatever. What's up, brother? So we can all agree, Bills ain't winning nothing ever.
Get that hell yeah!
Agreed.
Agreed, brother. I don't even think the Bills are gonna win the division. They're not winning the AFCs. That's the Patriots now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they crumbled.
I just learned that I cannot trust the Bills and Josh Allen with my money. Not this season. Not this season. After Jacoby Brissett, you got Caleb Williams, he's averaging the 70-80 passer rating. He's not going to get any better than that. I think that's just who he is. Marcus Mariota, he's capable. He's not that good, but he's been playing pretty okay, so I have to put him there. Jameis Winston, he's a backup quarterback. He's very elite, but he's also very careless. This is the kind of guy that will give you 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, but he will also give you 4 interceptions alongside with it. And then Trevor Lawrence, the luckiest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. He plays like Caleb Williams. Well, no, he plays like... What's a good example? He plays like Cam Ward. Trevor Lawrence plays like Cam Ward, except he has a way better record than Cam Ward does. Cam Ward is 1-9 or 1-8. Meanwhile, Trevor Lawrence is 7-4. So it makes no sense. He's just very lucky because I just don't get it. I really don't get it. Then you got the franchise QBs. I think Jordan Love is about to drop from this if we don't stop being inconsistent. Down syndrome Jones, I call him Down syndrome. I don't think Daniel Jones is an MVP candidate. I think this is all JT and a great team that he has around him. Bryce Purdy might go in for the top 10, maybe. We have an open slot, maybe. Then you got Bryce Young. Bryce Young, you don't deserve to be there, but because you went ham this last week and you won, I'm going to put you there just for this week alone.
Let's see what you do.
And then Dak Prescott. I don't think you're a franchise QB either. You get paid like one. You're actually the highest paid player of all time. But you don't act like it. You just did this last week, so I'm going to put you there for now.
Yeah, we mentioned that Derby. We mentioned that.
I hear you, brother. I just literally said, for the first time in recent memory, I can't remember the last time it's been like this, I don't have it's week 12, and I don't have a clear-cut Super Bowl favorite.
Right.
I have no idea who is going to win the Super Bowl this year. The Eagles are the obvious answer, but the Eagles' offense is not what it's supposed to be. Then you got the Chiefs who are the Chiefs normally are. The Ravens can't seem to punch it in the red zone anymore. The Buffalo Bills can't be what they used to be, and defensively they're worse than last year. Josh Allen's not playing like the MVP. Forget Joe Burrow. Fuck the Cincinnati Bengals. The CJ Stroud, even when he's healthy, they don't look that good on offense. Bo Nix looks like fucking Rattler. No, he looks like Anthony Richardson until the fourth quarter. Bo Nix, and then you got the Rams, who you would think it looks like one of the favorites from the NFC, but you got defenses that have shown that Matthew Stafford is not, on his A game sometimes. Not to mention you could score on their defense because they have a hellacious pass rush, but they got no fucking secondary to speak of. You want to see the Seahawks, but then you got Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. Brock Purdy just came back, so you can't say the 49ers for sure. Not convincingly. And who the fuck is going to bet on the Detroit fucking Lions to win the Super Bowl? Tell me. And I don't even hate the Lions. There's no clear-cut Super Bowl winner. So these are the QB tiers for week 1. So let's get to your top 10 QBs. Here we go.
Give me a hell yeah!
So I don't have a top 10. I have a top 9 because 10 is vacant right now. It's under construction, I guess you could say. So at 9, I got Jared Goff. Jared Goff, as you can see, he's right there. That ceiling right there, that's where he's at. He's going to stay right there until he proves otherwise. I still think he's a good quarterback. He just went up against a really good defense, and it is what it is. At 8, I have Sam Darnold. I'm going to keep him there for now. He has to play better. He knows it. 4 interceptions, unacceptable. At 7, I have Baker Mayfield. I dropped him until he gets his players back, until his team is whole. I feel like he has to do too much, and that's not who he is. At 6, I have Drake May, who's moving up. I'm sorry, my bad. At 7, I have Drake May, who's moving up because I think he deserves it. He's definitely in the running for the MVP conversation. So I feel like it's only right that because he's playing at that level and he's been this consistent all year, he deserves it. He deserves that spot. At 5, I'm sorry. At 6, at 6 I have Matthew Stafford. I put Matthew Stafford up there because he also is an MVP candidate, and he has 27 touchdowns right now and he hasn't really thrown that many picks, if I'm not mistaken. And he's just been as consistent as you could get. At 4, I have Jalen Hurts.
3 Honda Civics with
Who I'm
spoonies.
gonna keep right there because even though he's struggling, I think it's just it's a conglomerate. It's everybody at the same time right now. That's not gelling as well as they should. I don't know exactly what's going on, but I think they'll get it together. At 3, I have Lamar Jackson. Jackson. The reason why I dropped him, I did not like what I saw last week. They need to figure that out. He definitely needs to use his legs more, but I don't think he can right now. I don't think he's 100%. I think he's out there trying to play through a nick injury that he has right now. But I think he'll get it together as far as just getting into a rhythm with his offense. At 2, I have Josh Allen, but he did not show it. He did not show it in this game at all. I'm taking that hammer away from his ass because he don't deserve that hammer to throw at Donkey Kong at all. He played terrible in this game, and I got to call it like I see it. Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. That's the reason why I put him up there. But after this game, I'm dropping his ass again. I will be putting Lamar Jackson back up there because I know Lamar will get it together. At 1, I'm going to keep Pat up there, but just because he's a 3-time champion. Had he not been,
He would not be.
he
there.
would probably be down there where Baker is at this point because the way he's playing with the weapons that he has, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable the way he's playing. It's almost like he's resting on his laurels. He has not shown to be anything that he was in the past in the last 2 years, and I'm sick of it. And if I see it one more week, I'm dropping his ass too.
Well, let's read some chats here. So, Derpy says, I mean, let's be real. The Bills lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. I know. I call them, do you know what the acronyms BILLS means? Boy, I love losing Super Bowls. Do we really believe a supposed MVP can carry them to the title? Hell no. Listen, Buffalo, just stick to showing a massive L out of 12 feet of snow. Shoveling a massive L out of 12 feet of snow. Brother, Lamar won't do nothing either. He will get his regular season comeback, and that's it. Maybe.
But he still solidifies his spot because he's always in the conversation for MVP. He may not have gotten it done yet in the playoffs, but I tell you one thing: if you keep putting him into that playoff situation, I guarantee one year he will get it done. I guarantee 1 year he'll get it done.
So here are my top 9 QBs. I'm the same way. I have not changed this picture in 3 weeks because there's no picture to change. Nobody has anointed themselves into the top 10. No one's catapulted themselves. Nobody's climbed up the ladder. Nobody's earned the top 10. So they just belong in the tiers. Till then, I'm going to keep the slot open. I have Jared Goff in there, Drake May, Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, and Baker Mayfield. Because I haven't done it in a few weeks, I'm going to have to reshuffle that. I'm going to have to put Drake May and Stafford ahead of him, and then Baker and Goff somewhere in the middle, and Sam Darnold's last. Because out of everybody here, Sam Darnold's playing the worst the last 3 weeks. And there's only 4 Super Saiyans in the league. It is Jalen Hurts. It is Lamar Jackson. It is Joe Burrow. Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. Joe Burrow is a Super Saiyan, but because he's hurt, he's not on this list. And that's it.
I know why you called him Joe Burrow because he was nowhere to be.
Nowhere to be found today. All those white boys look alike.
Goddamn white boy.
Just kidding. No, it's just that these guys are the clear favorite. You know that these guys are on a different level. People don't say Jalen Hurts is in there, but Jalen Hurts has proven back time and time again. He doesn't have to throw for 300 yards every game. He's just gonna win.
He's a champ.
He's a champion. So, I just don't see anybody moving up right now. Brock Purdy is the only one I think has a conversation to become a top 10 QB.
But
because I've lost faith on Dak Prescott. Jordan Love is way too inconsistent. C.J. Stroud, concussed. JD5, he's gone for a while.
I had Brock earlier in the season in my top 10, but he got hurt,
Yeah.
so I had to. It's just what it is.
So it is what it is. So let's get to the NFL team tiers, okay? So this is what week 12 team tiers, and I also have them in categories. You got the simps. The simps are people who, guys that get left on red, guys that don't get many dates, guys that don't get many girlfriends. They're stood up all the time, left on red. They're always in the friend zone. Those are these guys. That's the Cleveland Browns. They're an organization that is proud. They have proud heritage, even though this is a newer franchise than their previous regime. The fact of the matter is they don't know what it's like to look for a quarterback or find one. And until they do, they will forever be in this category. And I feel bad for them because they actually have a very good team. I actually thought they have a very good roster, and it's pathetic that they cannot find a quarterback to stay there. Like, not even a game manager. Not even just a game manager. So they at least run the football. They had it with Baker Mayfield and they let it go. They expected Baker Mayfield to be what he is now in 3 years, 2 years. It takes time to some people. Not everybody comes out,
Exactly.
you know, playing in a blaze of glory. Then you got the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are a team where it looks like they can rack up a few wins and maybe McDaniels could add to his resume, but you're looking at a lame duck coach who's going to get fired at the end of the season, and I think Tua is not playing in South Beach anymore. The Tennessee Titans are dealing with a rebuild. They just had the number 1 overall pick. It looks like they're going to have that again for, you know what I'm saying, or at least the top 3 pick. And they have a rookie QB. They're going to be simping for a little bit. The Saints are actually simping on purpose. I don't know for what. I don't know what they're tanking for, but we'll see. They seem to have a game plan. Let's see let's go with the progress. Let's see. Trust the process. Then you got the Jokeland Raiders. I still call them Jokeland. These guys are a joke. Ever since Al Davis died, this franchise has never been the same. Even though they have a Geno Smith now, they don't have anything. And then when they had some weapons, they let go of Jacoby Myers. So let's see if they can hit in this draft. The New York Trash are the worst organization in all of sports. This is no team in the world is more dysfunctional than the New York Trash that you see here. And then you have the other New York team. Now, I want you to look what it spells in a row. NWB. Niggas without bitches. That's what simps are. Niggas without bitches. Forget the Y there in New York. Just NWB. Negroes without bitches. Because the New York Giants just lost their Jackson Dart. Now they don't got their main bitch. They struggling to find the side piece, Winston. Any hope from here? You know what I'm saying? Then you got Washington Redskins and Mariota, the other guy that got drafted in the Winston draft. You can't make this shit up. I didn't even realize this when I made this. Winston and Mariota got drafted back-to-back, and now look at them. They're backups in the NFC East, losing. And then the Cincinnati Bengals, who just lost Jamar Chase for a week because he's spitting on, what's his name? On Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
And now the Cincinnati Bengals season looks done, even if Joe Burrow is probable to come back soon. Let's read some chats before I get to the haters. Fellas, I'll tell you why the Browns are the clowns. Here we go. See, I support the Cleveland baseball team, who haven't won World Series since 1948. Do we really believe the Browns will win Super Bowl ever? Even if they get there, they'll probably choke away like baseball. Well, I don't think they choked it away in baseball. They choked one game away. I'll give you that. They did choke one game, but I don't think that they choked the whole series. The Cubs were playing for real that series. Now, you could maybe say they choked against the New York Yankees the year after, you know what I'm saying, in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? You could say that. But I wouldn't say that that they choked completely against that. And as far as the Cleveland Browns, you got to understand.
The year we had Soto?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to understand, the real Cleveland Browns actually do have 2 Super Bowls. The problem is they moved to Baltimore. This Cleveland Brown is finally getting this shit together. Before, they used to be a dysfunctional team like the New York Trash, but now they actually know how to build a football team. They have an elite defense. They have weapons. They have a running game. The problem is they don't know how to find a quarterback. They know how to find running backs. They know how to find corners. They know how to find all linemen and D linemen and linebackers and all that good shit. They know how to find running backs. Sometimes they know how to find a receiver. Sometimes they look into it. But they don't know how to find a fucking quarterback.
Let's just hope they're not illegally gambling too. That's pretty much all you.
Yeah. So let's get to the haters club. The haters are haters because they're not going to be in the playoffs. However, they're strong enough to knock out some of the guys that could be in the playoffs and maybe even replace them. That is like the Houston Texans.
Shit, they might.
They might replace somebody in there. They're already playing. This is a Super Bowl ready team, as we mentioned earlier, except on offense. Then we have the Dallas Cowboys, who are a Super Bowl ready team on offense sometimes, but the worst defense in all of the NFC. The Arizona Cardinals are haters. They're actually simps, but because they actually produce somehow, some way on offense and defense, they're actually rated pretty high on both. I'm going to leave them there at Haters Club because of the production, not because of record. Then you got the Atlanta Falcons. They're probably going to drop with Kirk Cousins at the helm. But the Simps Club is a little too crowded right now. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings, who are also simping. J.J. McCarthy, I like him. I wanted to like him, but he hasn't given me reason to show that he is going to be a franchise QB. The Chicago Bears, I know I like. I just don't like Caleb Williams, and I don't have to like him because he's a softie. He's not meant to play American football. He should have went to the Canadian Football League or something because his body language, his mannerisms, the fact that he wears fingernails. Come on, bro. It's football. It's not. This ain't a fashion show. And then the Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers are moving on up just like the Houston Texans. I think the Carolina Panthers are the Texans of the NFC. I think so. Then you got the wild card teams. These are the teams that are probably more than likely going to make the playoffs. You have the Jacksonville Jaguars, the league leader in forcing interceptions. You got a very shitty quarterback at Terry Lawrence, but despite all that, they seem to win. And they beat the Chiefs, but that must not be a claim to fame this season because it doesn't mean shit.
I mean, shit.
Then you got the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are they have an elite. I wouldn't say elite defense. They have a stout defense. The reason I don't call them an elite defense is because at the moment they don't see they could turn it on at will. Whenever they need to get somebody off the field, they just can't seem to do that anymore. They seem to do that at the beginning of the season, but it looks like teams have figured them out and they haven't made the adjustment back. So we'll see. Then you have the Colts. The Colts keep on winning because they keep on scoring. This is a strong team. They're not strong defensively. They're not that bad, but they're not that strong. They could put a little pressure on you, but they don't force turnovers a lot. They win because of JT and the weapons that they have around Daniel Jones. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the leaders of the AFC North for the time being. Time is ticking. We all know that's not going to last. Something's wrong with Aaron Rodgers. I have yet to hear a word from it. They're keeping that hush-hush. It must not be good news, which means good for me. Then you have the San Diego Superchargers. San Diego is the most untrustworthy team in the AFC. They're the Green Bay Packers of the AFC. They're probably going to win this weekend, but it doesn't give a fuck. They're going to be one and done in the playoffs. Mark my words. And then you got the Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, one of my favorite teams. I'm a Central Floridian. They play right down the street on I-4. And I love Baker Mayfield. I like that coach they got over there. I love Bruce Arians and all that stuff. Todd Bowles. They just don't have a good defense this year. They don't. They know how to put pressure on because of the coach that they have, but they just don't have the pieces. They are injured, both on the offense and defense, which is why I have them at the wild card. I dropped them from the top 10. So it's time for the NBA Power Rankings, shall we? No, the NFL Power Rankings. So here we go. Here's your...
I must agree with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Until they get their team fully healthy, we just don't know what they're capable of. At number 10, as you see, I have changed a lot because there's a lot of shuffling going on in the NFL. And it's really hard to break this down, I'm not going to lie. But these are the teams that I believe are the cream of the crop. At 10, I have the Baltimore Ravens, who I believe will win the AFC North. Sorry. I think they have the talent on offense. They'll get that going eventually. I think it's too early to say that, that their offense isn't going to start humming. Lamar Jackson just came back from that injury, and I still think he's still a little nicked up. At 9, I have the Kansas City Chiefs, who I have dropped dramatically because I just don't see the hunger in this team. I watched them lose to the Jaguars where Chris Jones didn't even try to go and get Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence fell to the ground. He was able to pick himself back up and run it in for a touchdown. That to me just shows that it's just not there anymore as far as the hunger. Don't know if it'll come back. I'm pretty sure it will. Andy Reid will get the troops ready to go, and they'll try next week. We'll see if maybe they can get their offense going. Patrick Mahomes will start, humming a little bit with that offense as well. At at 7, I have the Seattle Seahawks, who I believe have it defensively in bunches, but I'm not too sure about their offense against elite defenses, against really good defenses. I think Sam Darnold is a hell of a quarterback, and I think he's turned a corner. But until I see him do it, I have to keep them right there. I think this is their ceiling. At 7, at 6, I have the San Francisco 49ers because of one reason. They got Brock Purdy back. And I think Brock Purdy is, if he's not the second or third best player, quarterback that San Francisco's ever had, I'm gonna have to disagree with anybody who says no, because I think he runs this offense better than a lot of quarterbacks who have passed through San Francisco. I believe that offensively they're tough to beat. I believe that their head coach is amazing and he gets the most out of his guys, and that's where they'll stay unless they fall off the face of the earth. At 6, I have the Detroit Lions, who they impressed me defensively last game. I think they were able to put a lot of pressure. I think they get after it as far as like stopping the run. So right now, I believe their offense is amazing. I think they'll get it going next week. I feel like they'll struggle against people who can pass rush well, because Jared Goff, once he sees ghosts, he seems like he's a whole different quarterback. So I'll keep them right there for now. At 5, I have the Buffalo Bills there because of Josh Allen. I'm not gonna say anymore. At 4, I have the Denver Broncos there because they deserve to be there. They're a hell of a defense, maybe number 1 defense in the league, and I think as far as their offense, they're clutch. They get it done when they need to get it done. They're 9-2 for a reason. At 3, I have, surprisingly, the Patriots, who I believe have it on both sides of the ball. And if I had to say right now, they're, to me, playing the best on both sides of the ball. They don't turn the ball over a lot. They take care of the ball, and they turn people over. At 2, I have the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams are playing incredible as far as their offense and defense goes. They can get it done on both sides of the ball. They got a hell of a pass rush with Jared Verse at the helm. I think offensively they have the best quarterback right now that's playing at an MVP level. So that's where they'll stay. At 1, I'm going to stay with the Eagles because, once again, I repeat, they're just a Swiss Army knife to me. I feel like however the game plan starts, it doesn't matter what you stop. They'll go to this. They have plan A, they have plan B, they have plan C, they have plan D. Shit, they got plan that all the way to freaking Z if you have to go there. Like, it's amazing what they do as far as just getting the dub. So right now I just have to keep them at 1.
All right. Not bad at all, but I have to disagree with a few of them.
Give me a hell yeah!
So we are rated M for millennials. Everybody knows millennials, especially know that back in the day when we played video games, there was no way to save progress in the game. Back in the day when you played a video game, you had to start from the very fucking beginning every single time. One of the best games ever in that era was Mortal Kombat. It's a special game. All you had to do was pick a fighter with special abilities. You had to work your way up the ladder, work your way up the tower, beat the champion, save Earth, and all that good stuff. So this is what that's inspired by. Finish him. Here's week 12 of the QFL's tower rankings is what I call it. At 10, I got the Kansas City Chiefs. They are very untrustworthy. As I told you earlier, I can no longer trust Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills with my money. I can no longer trust Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs with my money.
Cool, nigga.
But they're still the 3-time defending champions. They are still the reigning AFC champions. And last time I checked, they still have Travis Kelce, Mahomes, and Andy Reid. After that, you will go into Mile High, into the Broncos. I have the Broncos a lot lower than you because their offense is something I don't trust. I don't trust Bo Nix. Yes, it's seats clutch. That's only if the game is close. What if the game is not close against an elite team come playoff time? Now, some people will say, hey, they have an elite defense. You said they have a Super Bowl ready defense. They do. But I've seen many Super Bowl ready defense get their asses kicked in the come playoff time. Just ask the Kansas City Chiefs this last Super Bowl. Finish him. Then you have the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks are there because they have a Super Bowl. No. They have an elite. No. Because they have to blitz to get pass rush. They have a stout defense. They have a very, very good defense. But they're well coached. That's the thing I wanted to say. They're well coached. They're elite at IQ. But Sam Darnold is still Sam Darnold. So he turns into the MVP that we know he could be. We have to put him at this category. I put the Baltimore Ravens over here only because I don't trust the quarterbacks beneath them and because Kansas City is Kansas City right now. They have the exact same record as my Ravens, but I trust my Ravens defense now than I trust Kansas City. And not too long ago, I said Kansas City had the best secondary in all of football. Then you have the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions are probably the most consistent offense outside of the New England Patriots in the all QFL. But their defense is the problem. All these teams have half a problem. You're right. The New England Patriots are the only team that don't seem to have any problem. They look elite on offense and they look elite on defense. However, I don't know if their quarterback is elite. I don't know how to judge them because they don't have much experience. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. There you have the San Francisco 49ers. I put them there because Brock Purdy's back, and as long as Brock Purdy's back, this team has been to the Super Bowl. This team knows how to run an offense. They're getting healthier. Watch out. I put the Buffalo Bills there, but this is before the Thursday night football game. God damn.
Come on, Dusty.
These motherfuckers smell like...
I smell pussy. Is that you, John?
I would actually drop them beneath the Detroit Lions and have them right above my Ravens had I waited for after the game. But because I had to work, I didn't want to mess up the schedule. I had to have this ready before the game started so that when I got home, I was ready to go. Then we have the loss. I got the top two with you, broski. The Hollywood Rams are the team to beat, seems like right now in the NFC outside of you guys. But once again, they have their issues. And you have the Philadelphia Eagles. Their offense is not what we want it to be. Saquon is not having the year that he had last year. A.J. Brown is always complaining because he doesn't get passes. They've got they lead the league in 3-and-outs. They've had a few scoreless halves. Yet they find themselves 8-2, beating half the teams that you see in this goddamn fucking tower. So, let's go to the top 10 offenses and defenses of the QFL. So, let's start with offenses first.
Let's do it.
Here you have the top 10 offenses. Go ahead, bro.
So I have Denver at 10 because I think...
What the fuck?
I think Denver is just... as far as just getting it done in the clutch, to me that's important. I just feel like when they need to get points, they get points. It's not so much that they score a lot because they don't score a lot, but when it's time to get points, they get points. So I got them at 10. At 9, I got the Chicago Bears because I think their coach is incredible at play calling. He just really is, and so I keep them up there for now. I think they have a hell of a run game. They kind of found their Jahmyr Gibbs combination with Monangai as well, being their like Montgomery. Not saying they're like that, but they do have that combination of the two. At 7, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Who, without Brandon Ayuk, without some of their playmakers not being completely fully healthy, Brock Purdy not being there, they're able to score. because of Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan's amazing. He's a heck of a coach, and honestly, I would say he's top 5 if it had not been for the fact that they just don't get it done when when the playoffs come. At 6, I have the Patriots, the New England Patriots, who I believe starting to get their run game going a lot more, and getting their running back involved a lot more. Their rookie running back involved a lot more. Drake May is arguably in the MVP running, and he's playing like that. He doesn't turn the ball over a lot. I see he doesn't. He gets points I wouldn't say at will, but I think as he gets more comfortable, he will start getting points at will. They're a tough team to beat. They're a tough offense to stop as well. At 6, I have the Seattle Seahawks, who I think are great up until last week. That was tough, but they were still able to score points, even though he had the 4 turnovers. They still had a chance to win that game, and I think they have a heck of a running game. They have, not arguably, to me, he's the best wide receiver this year in the NFL and JSN, and he's playing like it. So I gotta, when you have, to me, the best wide receiver playing like the best wide receiver, I feel like he has to be in that top 10 offense conversation. The Bills, it's crazy because after what I just seen, I'm kind of pissed that I got him up here. But they get it done against lesser competition, and they score over 30 points a game. Unfortunately, their schedule has been kind of weak, so that's why they're up there. At 4, I have the Dallas Cowboys, who for some reason do score over 30 points a game, and they not really. I wouldn't say for some reason, because they do have the weapons to score those type of points, and Dak Prescott he's one of those quarterbacks who can get it done. At 3, I have the Colts, surprisingly, but it's because of their run game. Jonathan Taylor is the best running back in the NFL. I don't care who says otherwise. When he's healthy, he's the best running back in the NFL. At 2, I have the LA Rams, who, as we know, have Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. What's the running back again? Forget his name.
Montgomery and Kyron Williams.
Kyron Williams. They have Higbee. They have Sean McVay. They have Matthew Stafford, and he knows how to get the ball to his weapons. So I have to have them in the top 2. They're absolutely amazing at scoring. Pretty much an elite offense. But at number 1, I have the most elite offense, and that is Jahmyr Gibbs. You get the ball to Jahmyr Gibbs and watch out. I mean, of course they got Amon-Ra St. Brown, but he got shut down last week. They have Sam Laporta, but he gets shut down sometimes. They have Jared Goff, and they have Williams, but they also don't put up the numbers that Jahmyr Gibbs puts in, even when they're getting shut down defense by a good elite defense. So those are my top 10 on offense.
What makes you think Sam Laporta gets shut down?
Huh?
What makes you think Sam Laporta gets shut down?
I mean, he showed it. He shows it sometimes where it just. I wouldn't say him getting shut down, but Jared Goff just isn't throwing the ball as well as other times because he's inconsistent.
Maybe he just doesn't get open.
That also, sometimes. Depends on the teams. That's the problem with this, because it's kind of murky because a lot of that stuff has to do with the fact that
watch who you claim gets shut down, because to get shut down means that you're in a maybe not elite, but you are a showstopper at your position, and someone shut you down. Don't you ever relegate Sam Laporta into showstopper? He's never there to begin with. Who the fuck is Sam? You should have said Jameson Williams or something. Why
I
did you
did.
say
I
it?
did. I did mention him, but
So-
he also gets shut down too.
Oh, yeah, but you say that because he actually deserves to get shut down. You don't say Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta don't deserve it.
Goddamn white boy.
And I'm not just saying that because I had him last year in fantasy football. Fatality. Last year.
Played good this year though.
Fuck him. He didn't do shit for me last year. I spent a third-year-old pick on him.
I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you.
All right. The only thing, I don't have my own graphic.
I know you have questions.
I only have two. Why the Broncos again?
I mentioned that to me it's not about numbers. It's about them getting it done in the clutch. I just feel like when they're down, they're not out.
Yeah, but we're not asking for the top clutch offenses. We're just asking for the top 10 overall offenses. They're
Well,
not.
because I don't go by. I just can't go by just points per game because, it depends who you play too. Like
I get
what
that.
what have you
I get that.
who have you beaten?
I'm
like
right there with
to
you.
to me like a gritty win like against Philly, that was big to me. Like the fact that they were able to come back and win that game. Like so I feel like when it's time to get it done, most of the time they get it done. And they have they have one of the best offensive minds in Sean Payton. So
Yeah, but they have no receivers. They have no run game. They have no quarterback. They only have that in the fourth quarter. I cannot believe that you put them ahead of the Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens.
I just don't. The Chiefs ain't doing it for me. Like,
They're doing more than they do.
as far as average goes, but they're not.
They're doing more than they do
Not
on
when they
offense.
need to get it done.
But they do more than they do on offense.
Not when they need to get it done though.
But that's not what this is. This is not the top 10 offenses that get it done when you need to get it done because the Chicago Bears are also on that list. So they're pretty other Cowboys. And we saw a few other teams. There's a lot of teams that are guilty of that, not just them.
So who do you have then?
I would respectfully take the Cowboys out, even though I will say they deserve to be there. But I will take the Cowboys out and I will take the Broncos out and replace them with the Ravens and the Chiefs. The Ravens put up points almost every game, even when we were at our worst. The Chiefs, Andy Reid belongs on this list, man.
I could see your argument on the Andy Reid, but not to me as a team. I just don't think they're getting it done.
They're not getting it done, but they're getting more done than the Broncos, which is the funny thing about it.
Average wise.
No, not average-wise.
Going by the average, yeah.
No, I'm not.
25 point.
No, I'm
What
not.
is it? 25 points.
I'm going because Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes are there, and they're 3-time champions. They're known for their offense, not their defense. Now, I always said the 50 touchdown Mahomes is RIP. You ain't never gonna see that again. I've already said that. Even then, this version of the Chiefs I trust offensively more than the Broncos. The Broncos are a top 10 defense for sure, but Bo Nix does not belong in the top 10 offense to me. In clutch, yes, but not in top 10. Because I'm sorry, but it's just that in every metric you will see that the Chiefs and the Ravens are way more better. And I'm talking about way, and Lamar was gone for 4 weeks. No, I think that one was just the biggest one. All the other ones are actually, you have a strong argument. The other one I just disagree with is the Broncos. But hey, that's why we have these debates.
Absolutely.
I could easily be wrong, and then these motherfuckers light it up for the next few weeks. You know what I'm saying? I'm not perfect. So let's get to the top 10 defenses, okay?
This one I really like. I had to pay homage to two of the best defenders to ever do it.
Yeah.
In Ray Luke.
Yeah, so I see the Detroit Lions. I don't know why.
What the fuck?
Okay, so the reason why I put the Detroit Lions is because of what they did to us last week. I feel like they pretty much shut out our offense a little bit.
No, they did not. No,
Yeah,
no,
they did.
no,
Yeah, they
no,
did.
no, they did not.
Yeah,
no,
they did.
did
What
not.
did we score? What did we score?
Bro,
What did we score? What did we score? Tell me the score.
yes, but let me ask you a question. If you score 16 points and you're normally scoring 24 or 25, does that automatically mean that the defense did its job?
If what? Say that one more time.
You were saying how much did we score? You scored 16 points when you average around 24.
Okay.
Does that necessarily mean that the Detroit Lions defense did its job?
It's a combination of both, but I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they were able to bother
A combination of what?
our
Both?
offense.
A combination of what both? I only mentioned one. What both?
well, of how poor we're playing too.
Correct. All right. All right. Then even if that's half true, the Lions don't belong there.
Okay, pull it up. Just pull it up for me. Just pull it up for me real quick. Look at what they're giving up per game. That's not bad. I'm not saying they're Houston, but I'm saying that's not bad, bro. 21 points a game is not bad. Giving up 21 points a game, especially when your offense scores a lot more than that, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's great, but I'm saying, I'm not saying they're the Texans. I'm not saying they're the Broncos. I'm not saying they're the Eagles. But I'm saying they're not terrible like some of these other teams that actually give up 25, 27. Look at the Buccaneers, 25 points a game. Look at some of these other teams down here. The Bears give up 26.4, and they actually have a good record. So, that.
I will argue that you would have a harder time scoring on the Jacksonville Jaguars or even the Cleveland Browns.
You might be
than
right
the
about the
Detroit Lions.
Jaguars. The Jaguars, I might have overlooked that one.
I'm
But
obviously not going to put the Cleveland Browns there because obviously with the lack of offense, their numbers are not going to look good on the stat paper.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I will argue Jacksonville over Detroit.
I don't want to put the Chargers in any of my graphics.
I'm not even looking at the Chargers. So you're absolutely right about that. You're not wrong with the Detroit Lions. I'm not saying that they don't belong there. I was just asking why do you have them there, and your reason was just the Eagles. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not enough.
You didn't like that one, okay? I got you.
yeah.
I got you.
That's
Well,
not enough.
I gave you a little bit more than I say the fact that they're averaging only giving up 21. That's pretty good. I think their run defense is actually really good.
They are. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're a physical
I'm
football
very
team.
surprised about that one because I didn't think they were going to be able to stop the run like that, but they.
Well, the last team to run over 200
didn't
yards
do
on them.
terrible.
The last team to run over 200 yards on them was the Baltimore Ravens. Last time they faced us, we kicked their ass, and we were the way more physical team. I think they learned a lot from that game because the last time we played them, it was not the same Detroit Lions we just saw 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We're, for the most part, still the same Baltimore Ravens. Lamar was still playing. We were still running the ball effectively. We scored 30 points in that game. They just scored more.
So then at 9, I got the Colts, but the Colts, I just feel like because of the pass rush. I feel like their pass rush is really good. Not too good. Not a little worried about their secondary, but as far as that pass rush and that D line and the linebackers, I think they're pretty good. And then Green Bay, the reason why I got them at 8 is because I think they have the potential to be really good. I don't think it's there yet, but I think they have the linebacking core. I think they have that kid Nixon. He's a good cornerback. They might need another one on the other side, but as far as that, I think their safeties are good. I think their pass rush is amazing. So that's why I have them up there. The Rams, the reason why I have the Rams so low is because I think the Rams are great as far as their pass rush, but don't trust too much of their secondary. Still, I know Sam Darnold gave up 4 interceptions, but a lot of that was because the pass rush. A lot of that was because of the pressure that he was getting in his face, and he wasn't able to handle it or make throws under pressure. The Patriots, I think the Patriots are an amazing team as far as their defense. Their defense is. I still question their other cornerback position, but I think they have potential with their cornerbacks. Their safeties are pretty good. Linebackers, that's a question mark to me. And the pass rush, but they're still getting it done in as far as their statistics go. If you go to statistics, they only give up 18.7 points a game, and that's including against like some of these good teams. As far as like what they just faced, the Buccaneers, who we think is pretty good offensively. The Bills, who we think is pretty good offensively. So I have them up there. And then I go to the elites, and that's the Seattle Seahawks and I go back to just as an overall team, they get it done, and the heart that they show on defense to me is amazing, and the statistics say it as well. They're able to get to the quarterback. They bother the hell out of the quarterback. I don't know really too many names in the secondary, but they get it done. They get it done. Either way, they get it done. I don't care who's out there. It's like plug and play for that. They get it done. Obviously, the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, they have McDuffie. They have Chris Jones. And to me, when you have elite players like that, all pros, you have to be in that conversation for the top 10. The Eagles, who are playing amazingly defensively, their pass rush has come out of nowhere because I feel like their pass rush was non-existent for the last maybe like 4 games before they got Jalen Phillips and they got Brendan Graham back and they got some of these guys that were kind of dinged up a little bit. They're top three, and I can argue top 2 and number 1 because of their experience as far as how far they go into the playoffs. At 2, I'm gonna go with the Denver Broncos, and then at 1, I got the Houston Texans. Who, come on, man, like look at what they're giving them, 16.3 points a game. That's incredible. I don't care who you play.
My Ravens are better than them. Finish him. We're only allowing 14 in the last 5 weeks. Fuck that shit. Nah, I'm just messing. No, you're right. The Texans are the most elite team as far as defense is concerned. You got it right in the same order. I got the Broncos there. I got the Eagles there, and that's where the elite defenses stop.
We could take the Lions out and put the Ravens at 10.
No, they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. They're all the way down there still because of how bad they started and they belong there, and that's what they deserve. They have a lot of fixing to do, but hey, they're on the way. It's dropping quickly. But
what was it at, by the way? Because damn, 25.1.
It was dead last. It was at 31 point something.
Wow.
And we dropped it down to this.
It's really good, actually, in the last 4 weeks. It's really good.
I think there's only 3 elite defenses in the league, and you got the top 3. I think the Kansas City Chiefs they're still a formidable foe. They're still very, very talented. They're still very well coached, and they're very disciplined and experienced. But they're no longer elite. This is where elite stops.
Okay.
But out of the most non-elites, they're the most experienced, so that's why you have them perfectly. I am agreeing with you with the Seahawks. I think that they're well coached. They're too well coached to put the Patriots over them. The Patriots just don't have the experience. They are well coached, but they're not as well coached as everybody above them, and they're not experienced as anybody above them. And the Rams, you're right, they have a glaring weakness, which is the secondary. Green Bay's weakness is that they're not consistent. They're just not consistent. That's the only weakness. On paper, they have a good defense. They have an elite defense. It just shows up sometimes not. The Colts, I think, is a little underrated. I agree with you there, but I would put the Jacksonville Jaguars there because they lead the league in interceptions.
Okay. I can see that one.
And because despite the quarterback play that they have, they're still managing to beat good teams.
So I'll keep the Colts, and I'll put the Jaguars at 10, or the Jaguars at 9, and the Colts at 10.
And I could even argue for the Panthers, but the Jaguars I think is better than the Panthers. I don't even know the actual number. Is it?
What is the Panthers? Let's see what the Panthers are. Oh, middle of the field. Okay.
They're right. They're next to each other, actually.
I can see that.
They're really right next to each other.
For real. I'm surprised about the Bills. That's the one I'm surprised about. 22.9.
Well, they played the New York Trash and a few others 2 times. Finish him. All right.
Texans.
Well, the Texans scored 44 on my defense. I can't talk shit. That's just pimping ain't easy sometimes. All right, let's.
But that was CJ though.
Let's switch it quickly to the N3A. All right.
Let's do this.
So let's go to your top 10 offenses in the N3A. You got the Utah Jazz, which I agree with. The thing is that they have no defense and they are weak at rebounding. Then you have the Detroit Pistons. I like this. Because they are well coached and they do play defense. The problem is that they have only one main weapon on offense.
But wait. But they have some guys coming along.
No,
Jay-
I'm
Jay-
not saying it's a one man show, but it's a one man army.
Yeah, right now, yeah, it is. It is. So is this one though. The next one.
No,
You don't think so?
no.
You think he has the pieces now?
I don't know if he has the pieces, but it's not a one man army.
So how's it not a one-man army if you're not sure if those were the pieces?
Because if you could have two superstars in the same team and still not have a good pieces around.
I hate.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they do. I'm just saying that Julius Randle is enough to say they got a 2.
He's a star.
They got a 1 and a 2. They just don't have much around.
I got you.
Then you got the Miami Heat. They have a 1 and a 1.5.
But they have this other guy.
But they have a very, very, very fucking good defense, and they're well coached.
They
And
have-
they're going to be a tough out in a 7-game series. That's just a Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Thibodeau, and
They have guys. They
Van
have
Gundy.
guys.
That's their shit.
They just have guys. I don't know how they do it every year. They do it every year.
No, it's not just that they have guys. They buy into a system that these guys preach, defensive system. They're like when Pat Riley went to the Knicks already had Patrick Ewing. They had Charles Oakley already, but he made them into the most feared team in the NBA once the Detroit Pistons got dethroned.
Could you imagine this offense though when they get
When Eric Spoelstra took this team, the 8th seed, all the way to the NBA Finals, they did that because of their defense, not because Jimmy Butler was all of a sudden started making threes like never before, which helped.
which
But it was because of their defense
And
and
triple
timely
doubles.
shooting. Yes, timely shooting. It seemed like everybody over there caught fire.
true.
The Chicago Bulls, I think, is a little underrated on offense, even though they don't have Kobe White right now.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell to make of that. Like I looked that up and I'm like, is this real? Like it is. They are top 10 offense.
So for the Miami Heat to actually have an offense this year makes it a little weird because they're mostly known for defense, right? And they're still known for defense. Just they have a pretty good offense. The Cavaliers, they are there. The New York Knicks are way better offensively than last year. OKC, I think
They're consistent.
Where are they in real life?
I would say they're consistent.
They're the top point differential team, but they score the most points.
No, they don't score the most points. The team that scores the most points is actually, I believe, Denver.
Yeah. Well, they're top 5. They're top 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
Houston's number 1 on your list, and then Denver Nuggets. I have to agree with the Denver Nuggets. I think Houston. I have to see more. It's just I don't know this team as it's currently constructed. Has only been 13 games.
But I will say this: the reason why they're third and they're not fifth or sixth because they're like they're fifth here, is because they're doing this without Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
That to me is their points got to go up once he gets back.
So let's get to the top 10 defenses in the N3A. We have number 10, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Then you got the Miami Heat. See, Miami Heat are both in there. My Knicks are in there. The Celtics are in there. The Pistons are in there. Whoa, you got the Teal Pistons. The Toronto fucking Raptors are actually playing. I can't hate them. They're actually playing. I'm just saying that because RJ Barrett's on my fantasy fantasy basketball team.
Their defense might be top 5.
They actually do have a good defense over there. I think that they figured out. Listen, we're not gonna be able to score against everybody, so we might as well play the best defense we can and see.
But that's the surprising thing. Like if you look, they're actually middle.
I know of the
On
pack
offense.
no, that's not middle. That's almost top 10. That's
Yeah,
right outside
you're
the top
right.
10.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That is.
Then you
Damn,
have
that's like 9.
your Boston Celtics. They're always going to be around. They are a tough out in the 7-game series. They're playing very, very good basketball. It's just they don't have your closer. That's what it is. They don't have the closer. I think you're gonna have to do this as a team effort unless Jaylen Brown wants to take
I think Jalen will take over. I think it's just gonna take some time. It's like he's basically going through what Tatum had to go through, which was when he sees all these double teams and stuff like that, he's gonna have to figure out how he's gonna maneuver around this stuff. So I feel like it'll take time, but I definitely now believe that this team is gonna be a problem.
There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's basically 10 teams actually averaging 120. The Utah Jazz are in 119.4. The other two are 119.9, so I might as well just give them 120. So there's 10 legit teams actually scoring 120 points right now. My Knicks are in there. I expected that. They've been pretty good offensively the last few years. The Minnesota T-Wolves, even without Ant-Man, surprisingly they're still there. And the Nuggets is not surprising at all. You got the Mellow Nugget colors. The Detroit Pistons, that's why they have the record that they do. The Houston Rockets can score with the best of everybody, and it looks like they can defend with the best of everybody. It looks like a team in the making, and then obviously the number one defense in the league is the reigning champions. I agree. I completely agree. In a 7-game series, good luck. Good luck. And watch out for
And
for
did
foul
you get
trouble.
and did you get my other chart?
No,
Just so you
because
could put it.
we're not doing that.
Oh, you're not gonna do it yet?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
All right,
not doing
cool.
that this week because remember every 2 weeks we'll do the players and the team tiers. Today
Gotcha.
we're just doing the top 10 offenses, defenses, and rankings. But I have it saved because I do like it. And then let's go to your NBA power rankings over here.
Give me a hell yeah!
So I got Miami 10 just because I don't feel like they're fully healthy yet. Once they get fully healthy, and I think once Khalil Ware gets more involved in the offense, they're gonna move up. Chicago surprisingly at 9, but they're surprisingly playing really very, very well. At 8 I got Minnesota the Timberwolves. I think they're gonna stay right there until they prove. I don't know. I guess until they're proven in the playoffs, in my opinion. San Antonio is gonna stay high because Wemby, man. Wemby's gonna take over the league. It's just a matter of time. He's gonna take over the league. We'll be talking about him like we talk about SGA. Then I got the Knicks there at 6. The reason why is because I just want to see just a little bit more from the Knicks as far as their defense goes. They gave up a lot of fucking points to Miami. And then I got Cleveland at 5, but just because recently they've been playing a little bit better, but still got question marks about them when it comes to the playoffs. Detroit Pistons, to me, they're the best team in the East. They've got it in bunches as far as just grit. They just play with grit. And that moves me on to the next team, the Rockets, that also have a bunch of grit. Just a bunch of guys who are selfless. They play for each other, and they got a hell of a defender in Ahmed Thompson. Then at 2, I got Denver, the Nuggets. They're freaking amazing, and Jokic is, to me, still the best player in the NBA. SGA may be the MVP, but that boy right there, that Jokic, he's just the most consistent player we've probably ever seen in the NBA, ever. And then 1 is obviously OKC, because what they're doing without the fact that they've only lost 1 game is insane to believe, because they don't even have Jalen Williams back.
Well, I have a little bit different than yours. Once again, this is going to be Mortal Kombat inspired. Week 5 of the N3A's power rankings. I got 10. I got the San Antonio Spurs because they're very inexperienced. They have yet to make the playoffs under this regime, and I see a little bit inconsistencies. They don't know how to make sure that Wemby gets the ball in the final seconds. They don't know how to close out games very good, and they get into foul trouble still. The Minnesota T-Wolves are there. They're going to be a tough out. Let's see if they improve. I don't see many pieces around them, so it looks like the guys that they do have are going to have to step up their game come playoff time. I have the Miami Heat at 8. I think they're better than every team beneath them. I think this team is legit. I think they're going to be one of the final 4 of the Eastern Conference come this playoff.
Cool, nigga.
I have the Cleveland Cavaliers at 7. They are an elite offense and a pretty good defense now, still. But they just don't have the same rhythm that they had last year. I don't know what's going on, but they're not going to win 60 games. This is absolutely clear. They're not going to finish the top seed in the East. But this is a team that is this is going to be one of the final 4s of the Eastern Conference for sure.
I still can't believe we beat them.
Yeah. Then you have the Houston Rockets. I have them a little lower because I don't have I don't have much basically background to feed off of except what you see in the first 13 games. So for now, I have to put the Lakers above them no matter how much I don't like it. The Lakers belong there. I don't know how you didn't have the Lakers in your tower rankings. You have them?
Nah.
Yeah, no, they belong there, bro. I think they belong there. I think, you know what I'm saying, they're playing their ass off. They're not
I don't
playing,
like their defense.
I don't like their defense either, but it seems to not matter right now against even elite teams because they've beaten some good teams and some bad teams, obviously. But and without LeBron, they you know what I'm saying, now that he's back, let's see. But I like the Lakers more than I like Houston for now. I have my Knicks at 4 just because the Knicks are actually a very formidable foe. We did allow a lot of points to the Miami Heat. But it's funny, everybody says Jalen Brunson's not that good defensively, but we're better defensively when we have Jalen Brunson. Numbers don't lie. Actually, they do. Then you have the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons are the best team in the Eastern Conference. They only have 2 losses. They gave us a 6-game series last year. We beat them, but we were more experienced. I don't think they could beat us still, but we'll see. But I for now, I'm going to have to put respect on the Detroit Pistons' name, and I'm going to put them there for now. We have, it's 20-something weeks of the NBA. I don't have to be so stubborn with them like I do in the QFL. I have the Denver Nuggets there. The Denver Nuggets are the biggest threat to the OKC Thunder at the moment in any league, in any conference, bar none. They have what looks like it's going to be the MVP this season. They have what looks like they have the, I guess, the best number 2 of the year because Jamal Murray's on a tear this year, bro. I drafted him. I had him last year too, but he playing way better this year than he did last year. And then you have the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're the best team in the league. They're the reigning champions. They have the best point differential. They play the best defense. They score the best. They have many ways of scoring, and not to mention the referees love them at the free throw line.
Fatality.
If you look at Denver, though, everybody's playing better. You got Brown playing better. You got Aaron Gordon. What he's doing from the 3-point line.
We should know and remind those who are not casuals that Denver Nuggets did fire their coach Mike Malone. A month or not even a few games before the playoffs began, which is very, very unusual. I don't think I've ever seen that in any sport in my life. Unless they were about to miss the playoffs, obviously, yeah, but not when you're about to make the playoffs. Hell no, I've never seen that in my life.
Yeah, I never seen that either.
The son of Rick Adelman, one of my favorite coaches of all time. Actually, he's my top 3. It's Pat Riley, it's Rick Adelman, and it's Popovich. Okay, those are my top 3 coaches of all time to me. My favorites, actually. Now, the top 3 to me is Red Auerbach, Phil Jackson, and Pat Riley. But for me, it's Popovich, Pat Riley, and Rick Adelman. Rick Adelman was the coach of the Sacramento Kings and the Portland Trailblazers that faced Jordan when Jordan did the shrug and shit. Excellent coach. I just thought that Phil Jackson was in his way too many times. It was not his fault. It was either with the Bulls or with the Lakers. He did the best he could, and the referee went to jail for cheating him out of one of those series. So there you go. But that's the coach. His son is the coach of the Denver Nuggets, and I'm not surprised that they're playing very good and well coached and look well coached. That's just what the Adelmans do. But this is a good NBA season. I like this NBA season. This is where I know we're already missing a lot of players due to injury, but it's different. Like you said, it's different. There's a lot of hype in this year. However, it don't look like there's a challenger in sight other than the Nuggets that can dethrone the Thunder.
For real.
I can see 4 teams that can beat the Nuggets. I don't see only one team that can beat the Thunder. They're unfair. Sam Presti shouldn't be allowed to collect any more draft picks for the rest of his tenure. On Earth, not on the Thunder, on Earth. As long as he's alive, no more draft picks for Sam Presti. Okay.
John Mitchell, Jesus, just keep pouring it on, huh?
Yes. Before we sign out, let's do the YN progress report. We never got to do that. We meant to do that on Monday, but because we started lagging, I like to cut it short. So here we go. We got the Week 11 YN progress report from last weekend. You got Bryce Young, impressive 123 passer rating, 68.8 completion percentage. Didn't never know he had it in him. I had no idea. You could have asked me so many times, do you ever see him completing 31 fucking passes in the league? Yeah. If he threw for 70, he only threw 45 and got done. With 448 yards and 3 touchdowns, motherfucker, that's what I'm talking about, man.
I didn't think he'd ever be money player of the week.
My goodness gracious. And then Michael Penix. You were on a tear until you tore something. 13 of 16, 175, 81.2 passer rating. Not to mention you were actually ahead 10 points when you left. But you guys both get A pluses. That's the easiest A plus you could ever grade, I think, in all the YNs. Then you got not so great and then pretty good. Cam Ward actually balled this last weekend. This is what I'm talking about, Cam Ward. 87 passer rating, that's good. That's actually better than what Caleb Williams averages. 64.8 completion percentage, which is excellent. This is where you want to stay at as a franchise QB. 24-37, not too much. 194 yards. I like to keep him at 30. 30 passes and run the ball more. And a touchdown. I didn't get to watch this game. I usually have 6 games on. I can't watch all the games. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if the game cost for him to throw for 37 or if it was just the coaching making a bad game plan. But he actually succeeded, so I give him a B plus because he lost. He doesn't get an A. And Dylan Gabriel, 88.7 passer rating, impressive 70% completion percentage, but you didn't throw very far down the field. You were more checkdowns and shit like that.
68 yards.
And you were getting your ass kicked like I promised you would. I know my Ravens, they do this. They punish quarterbacks, and if you're inexperienced like you are, rookie, it spells very bad for you. So bad that you actually left the game in the third quarter. Finish him. You get a C plus, and Ward gets a B. And then we have Shedeur Sanders. The lowest passer rating I have ever seen in my entire life. I had to double check to make sure it was the right statistic. 13.5. Are you kidding me? 25-point completion percentage. I've seen that a few times in Tebow era. 4-16 for 47 yards and an interception. The only difference is Tebow wins and you don't. However, it's unfair. It's unfair because he never gets reps with first team. It was against my Baltimore Ravens, who have an immaculate record. Well, John Harbaugh has an immaculate record against rookie QBs. It is now 27-7, and a team that was desperate. We started so bad that we were desperate. There was no way in hell Shedeur was going to come in and pull that comeback on us. We were not going to allow it. We would have cheated and saw his knee off and make sure we didn't lose that game. Okay, it wasn't unfair, but it is a F game. I'm just calling it how I see it. It's an F game. I'm not blaming him for it because I actually believe Shedeur Sanders did some good things against my Baltimore Ravens. If you saw that game, he actually did look poised. The problem is when pressure comes, he's not used to it just yet, and he has no, like I said, no reps with the first team offense. So it's not unfair. It's completely unfair, all the hate that he gets, but it is an F game. All right, y'all. We're gonna sign out.
Hey,
here.
that man don't get no hate.
Yeah.
He's the Messiah. The hell?
We're gonna sign out here. We appreciate y'all tuning in. This is the Pressure Podcast, the only podcast where viewer has say. If you have a webcam, we'll send you a web link. Put you on a little screen back there, hop on the mic and talk your shit.
Give me a hell yeah.
I actually wish he got a little bit of hate so that I could come up here and actually be like, oh yeah, he'll be great. Just so I could say that.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy as hell the way they talk about him. Like, as soon as he plug him in, I guarantee he's gonna go crazy. All right, yeah, sure.
We'll see.
He sure did.
Well, we'll sign out here. We'll be back on Saturday. The format is Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at midnight. Only at Pressure Podcast Live on YouTube. We learn and we take notes to see what we learned from the games in the weekend on Mondays. And we give the Bum of the Week award and the Money Player of the Week award. Then on Thursdays, we establish what we learned in the weekend with the power rankings, the QB and NFL tiers, the NBA rankings, and all that good stuff. And then Top 10 Thursdays, whenever we have time, we like to throw in a lot of random Top 10 things. And then on Saturdays, using what we established today, we make our picks and predictions, and then we put players under pressure. We put them in a gravity room, give them instructions to see if they could succeed for this upcoming game or upcoming weekend. Tune in. Saturday, we have a very, very hectic schedule. We have a lot to cover. We have a lot of predictions and picks to make. We will be there. Take care of yourselves. Be safe. Hit the like, subscribe, comment. Give us your top 10 power rankings, please. Till then, motherfuckers, Saturday.